Hey guys, it's Tom M from Tabletop Republic, and we are back again with the Core 2021 set reveals. Today's previews, we've got quite a few cards going to go through. Quite a lot of Garruk related cards, so he's the green planeswalker involved in this set. But surprisingly enough, no Garruk themed borders were shown off. But yeah, we'll just jump straight into it. First up, we've got Magic themselves announcing on their daily MTG part of the website a couple of cards. First up, you've got Fiery Emancipation. If a source you control would deal damage, it deals triple damage instead. There was a quote from Morrow on this card where, when they revealed Nyx Bloom Ancient from Theros, the one where it triples your mana, he said, "Wait, we can triple things," and so I'm guessing this is where this came from. But yeah, really nice card. Mythic, definitely worth its mythic rarity. It's essentially, I mean, this with an Obosh, with a Torbrun. I can't even think of all the cards now, but yeah, I'm going to be sticking this in many red decks. Probably not standard red decks, but in any EDH deck this will work perfectly. Then you've got Goblin Arsonist. It's a reprint, last seen Magic 2013, so it's been a long time coming. Just simple, when it dies, it deals damage. Could be good in quite in some decks. And there was a slight Goblin theme with some of the cards today. You'll see a bit later, so this will work with them. Heartfire Immolator, another card with prowess, and when for a mana you sack it and it deals damage equal to its power, so it's essentially a shock. Literally for one mana to deal 2 damage unless you can buff it up. And I feel like this is what some people do, put an Ember Cleave or something on it, sack it, it can destroy, creature or planeswalker. Can't go to a person though. That's the only issue with it. Then you've got Hellkite Punisher. Another new card. It's essentially Shivan Dragon, but costs 1 mana more, but it gets +1/1. Literally the same abilities as it, but yeah, it's just Shivan Dragon. If you're going to put a Shivan Dragon in your deck, you might as well stick this one in as well. It's not that bad. Next up, we've got Magic Japan, who announced Riddle Form, a reprint from Hour of Devastation. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Riddle Form can become a 3/3 Sphinx, and for 3 mana you can scry one. It's one of those enchantments that turns into a creature, which I find some uses for, especially for enchantment entering battlefield effects. Yeah, I'm happy to see a reprint of this. This could be quite useful. Then we've got a reprint from Alistraza. Furious Rise, a reprint from Theros, the most like Theros Beyond Death, the one from last year. Was it last year? Yeah, I think, came out 2019, I believe. At the beginning of your end step, if you control creature power 4 or greater, exile top card, you can play it until your next end step, essentially. I barely even saw this card in Theros. I didn't even know it was a reprint. I thought, oh, that's quite a cool new card, but the artwork's pretty much shows off that it's from Theros. It works well with some of the things that are happening. Red's getting quite a lot of, you need big creatures on the board, not just a bunch of 1/1s, and so I'm happy to see that sort of change in plays. Next up, Amazonian announced Valorous Steed, just a 3/3 unicorn with vigilance, and when it enters you get a 2/2 knight, so for 5 mana you get a 3/3 and a 2/2. It's alright. Wouldn't see much play of it. I wouldn't expect to see much play of it except for drafts, possibly, but it's there for a common. Then Korokoro announced 2 cards. First one, Warden of the Woods. When it becomes the target of a spell or an ability your opponent controls, you may draw 2 cards. So it's essentially a bit like Bone Crusher Giant from Eldraine, but instead of dealing 2 damage, you get to draw 2 cards, which I think is a pretty good effect for 6 mana. There's loads of big expensive creatures in this. I wouldn't expect it to get much play, but yeah, not a bad effect. Then this one I'm really excited for, Light of Promise. The enchanted creature gets 1/1 counters for however much life you gain. This is the same effect as Sunbond, but it costs 1 mana cheaper. Sunbond is 3 and a white, this is 2 and a white. And I love Sunbond in my girlfriend's white-green dog/Lufgane deck. Sunbond is the card you'd want out, because then you can buff up a creature with lifelink, make it swing, and you gain a stupid amount of life, and then it gets stronger. And yeah, so I am going to be praying for this card. I'm so happy this is Sunbond's essentially getting a good reprint, but better. Then we have the first non-English card. You've got Herald of Garruk here. So it has hexproof from black, which is very odd that it's not protection from black, it's actually hexproof from black. And when it deals combat damage, you look at the same number of cards from the top of your library. So it will do, base form, it will do 4 damage, so you can look at the top 4 cards. And then you either reveal a creature or a Garruk Planeswalker, and you can put it in your hand and the rest goes to the bottom in random order. Quite good. For 3 mana for a 4/3 anyway is quite good. Anti-black, and it deals the same. When it deals combat damage, it has some quite good effect. I think just drawing a creature. Obviously, if you need land, it's not the best thing because you wouldn't want to attack with this. But yeah, I could see this getting some play, especially in Garruk tribal decks. Then we've got so this one's quite odd. If you look up the translation of Escornador, it means jogger, but I doubt they'll make a card called Garruk's Jogger. So it's going to be something like Garruk's Speeder, or Runner, or something like that. But yeah, it's essentially it's just a 7/3. There's no effects. It's very Yargle like. It's just a vanilla massive attack, no defense. Not much really else to say on that. Just common. There's much better commons in the deck in the set. Then you've got one of the best commons, Rambunctious Mutt. I can't be bothered to cut it out because I also want to show off those dates. When it enters, destroy artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. It's I can't remember the card, but it's the green. When it enters, destroy. Just a bit stronger. It's a 3/4, so it can take on 3 fully trained human soldiers and win, which is what I find funny. But just look at it. Look at it. It's going to be in the thumbnail. Just look at it. It's the best dog they've made yet. And yeah, well, the things are up there. Pre-release coming soon. Coming very soon, to be fair. It's already 11th of June. And so only 15 days until the pre-release events start up. And then start of next month it comes out. Tabletop Republic will obviously be doing things. Won't be doing any events for it. But we'll be, we're selling all the pre-release bits. And we'll have Core 2021 in stock when it does come out. After that, sponsor. It's not really sponsor when it's us. Next card, Vryn Wingbear. It's a reprint. Only reprint of it. First seen in Magic Origins. 2/1 flyer, and non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. Very good, sort of small. It's a small effect, but it can be very useful. It just makes your opponents have to be 1 mana ahead of everything. Because if you're trying to block the new Teferi, the 4 mana one, it now costs 5 mana, which is very, very good. It just makes everything 1 hard on turn 3. You can get this out, well, at minimum, so it's quite good. Then another non-English card. This one is it's either called Sleeping or Resting Tyrannodon. People there was a translator who was like, it'll be either one of them. By the look of it, he's sleeping, but if he's I would assume resting, because for a 3/3, if he's sleeping, it'd be a 0/0. He has Defender, but if you have a creature with power 4 or more, it can attack as if it didn't have Defender. Very nice. I'm happy to have another Defender. I've got a Defender deck, so it'll be quite good. And 3/3 for 2 mana. Not too bad. Not too bad. Then we've got again, rough translation of Nullfist Treefolk. Whenever you draw, this gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So on your turn, this is a 4/5 minimum, but in a green-blue drawing deck, this could get ridiculous. So it's not when you draw your first card. The translation, I believe, says whenever you draw. So yeah, this could be a big beefy boy. Doesn't have any other effects like trample or anything, but still big beefy. Beat stick, as people call it, will be very useful. Next, we've got Garruk Unchained. We've got 2 artworks for this. One Spanish, one Portuguese, I believe. So the +1 ability, one of your creatures get +3/3 in trample until end of turn. Very nice, not a bad effect for a +1. It's -2, so you can do this twice if you didn't want to up it. You can make a 3/3 beast, and if an opponent has more creatures than you, you can put a loyalty counter on this card. Now that is lovely. So basically, it's either a -2 or a -1. I like that kind of effect on a Planeswalker. And I'll go to the alternate art. Lovely alternate art for the -7. You get an emblem where at the end of your turn, you can search your library for a creature and put it on the battlefield. You get a free creature every turn. If it's just a big green stompy deck, you get a bunch of free cards, a bunch of enter the battlefield effects. But I'm happy about this. Some people on Reddit weren't too thrilled with it and were like, "Oh, it's not that bad." It's very disappointing. But I'm happy with this. This could go in most decks, most green decks, and for 4 mana, starting loyalty 4. So for 5, 6, 7, 4 again, 4 turns for the ultimate could be very useful. Next up, we have one of the best artworks, Conspicuous Snoop. Not exactly inconspicuous when you got your face placed up against the window, but it's a goblin-based card. You play with the top card of your library revealed. It's a bit of a downside, but you can cast goblin spells from the top of your library, and as long as the top card of your library is a goblin, Conspicuous Snoop has all activated abilities of that card. Very good. That's going to go in every goblin deck because it's a very good effect. Being able to play goblins from the top of your library, cool. That's going to get ridiculous, I think. For 2 mana, very easy. Next up, another non-English, Vengeful Leafkin. Treefolk Leafkin has had enough. He's getting angry. He's a 4/3 now for 4 mana. So he taps to add a green, taps to add a green mana for each creature you have with power 4 or more, which is quite good. Like him, it will tap for 1 at minimum because he's a 4/3. However, this is an EDH made card. You can sort of tell by the fact it's like, oh, you just get a bunch of big creatures on the board. And for 7 mana, or 7 colours and 1 red, so 8 in total, it deals damage equal to its power to a creature or planeswalker you control. So 8 mana for, as it currently is, 8 mana to deal 4 damage isn't the best, but this is the kind of card where they want you to sort of beef up just a tiny bit, just to make it so much stronger. But you'll be mostly doing the tap effect, I reckon. Oh, excuse me. Then we've got Garruk's Uprising. So when it enters the battlefield, if you have a creature with power 4 or more, draw a card. Pretty good. 3 mana to draw a card. Where are we? There we are. Creatures you control have trample. Amazing. And then whenever a creature with power 4 or more enters the battlefield, draw a card. So you get to draw when it enters, and when other stuff enters, you get to draw. And then all your stuff has trample. For 3 mana, 3 amazing effects. I would like this card, please, thank you. I'm really happy with this one. For an uncommon as well, this is going to be very ridiculous. It's very similar to Season of Growth, that's what I like. Anyway, this one is Lofty Denial. So you counter a target spell unless they pay 1 mana, 1 colourless. If you have a creature with flying, they have to pay 4 mana instead. So another one of these, I think they call it mana drain counter spells, where you can either counter it early on, counter something early on, or counter a big thing and they physically can't pay, or if you know they're going to be playing loads of things, play it. They'll have to waste a bunch of mana. Not bad, not bad. I could possibly see this being used in some decks, especially counterspell decks. But there are better counterspells out there for, yeah. But in a flying tribal deck, yes please. I don't know why I keep saying yes please. It's my thing today. Transmogrify. Now this is similar to Chaos Warp. You exile a target creature, and the controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card, and they put it on the battlefield and shuffle the rest back into the library. Yeah, very similar to Chaos Warp with that effect. However, some people have been thinking about exiling their own creatures and then getting out big stuff, because it's until you reveal a creature, so you just get out a token of some sort from an enchantment, and then if your only creature is something ridiculous like one of the big ones or game-winning creatures, it comes on the battlefield for free. So I like this card. It could be used both ways. Then 2 more cards to go. You've got Frantic Inventory. This is an instant version of Take Inventory. I don't know why I said inventory and inventory differently. Draw a card, then draw cards equal to number of Frantic Inventories in your graveyard. So yeah, it's Take Inventory, and also I forgot the name of it. That's the one that Mara teased. He said this as the was one of the new cards without giving the actual name, so we knew this one was coming. But it's gonna be fun for draw. You know, in the end you'll be able to draw when 3 are in your graveyard. You'll draw 4 cards for 2 mana, which is a very nice effect. And then like 20 minutes before I started recording this video, the final card came out, which is Thieves Guild Enforcer, revealed by Wandering Ones, Japanese streamer. He luckily had an English version, so I don't need to read it fully, but it involves rogues entering, an opponent milling, and when an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, this gets +2, +1, and Death Touch. People are calling this the thief version of, the rogue version of, compared to the Vampire Knight of the Ebon Legion, where it's a 1 mana, really annoying card to get out stupidly early. It's got flash as well, so you can put it out after your opponent's first turn, so they can't unsummon your creature or something like that. But yeah, we've got some good cards that have come out today. This one, I could see some use, especially rogue decks. Rogue decks I doubt that's in Rising Standard unless they bring out something amazing, but possibly Pioneer and like Modern could be getting some stuff. But yeah, that's it for the cards today. Got some great Garruk related cards, as I said. Couple of good reprints. Not the best day in general, but I'm happy with the releases so far. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll be back maybe tomorrow. I don't actually know if there's enough coming out tomorrow to sort of validate a new video. Hang on, I'm literally looking it up as I'm recording the video like a professional person. But yeah, it's the 11th so that was the cards from the 10th. Then on the 11th, yeah, we don't have a lot. I'll probably still do a video because the 12th is a lot and I don't want to clump them all together. So tomorrow should be hopefully a smaller video. But then the weekend, the 13th and 14th, I'll do a video on Sunday for that. Then the Monday on the 15th is the last Core 2021 spoilers. It's also when we all have to get back to work, you know, with everything that's going on at the minute. And then it's off to a couple of days of Jumpstart previews. And I don't know if you want me to do them, I'll do them. I might do them, depends on if I've got the time really and how interesting they are. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.